Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the playoffs from the 2016 Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. We're live at the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. My name is Sean Joyce. Susan Lang with me at our broadcast table.
Good evening and welcome, curling fans.
Kerry Tarasoff running the control panel to my left as always, and we do have Terry Hersakorn once again on the hand cam. We're going to feature the matchup on sheet 4 between Lisa Weagle and John Epping. They're going to be playing against the Murphys, Janet. You, and if you're watching along from home and you want to have a little drinking game here, every time Susan refers to you by the name John, you should take a drink.
Yes, I've had a little difficulty here getting a couple names mixed up, so I'm just renaming everybody to Mr. Epping and Mr. Murphy.
Easy early if you can. Stay with me. You gotta come. You gotta sweep this a bit, hon. You gotta go.
So we got to look at the full championship grid there, and it's the round of 12. These 8 games at the 8 teams playing the 4 games at the back. You see the teams that won their pools have all advanced into the quarterfinals, and they're relaxing tonight. They'll all play tomorrow morning and waiting to find out who they're going to have to play.
Well, we did start with 32 teams on Thursday morning. They all had a 7-game round robin, and these are the ones left standing. No worse than a record of 5-2 to get into these playoffs. We had 2 undefeated teams, 2 and a couple with 1 loss, but such stiff competition here. But the cream certainly seemed to rise to the top here. We have an outstanding representation of teams that won via their provincial competition. The McEwens, who will be playing tomorrow morning, they won because they won a spot in a bonspiel earlier this season, and other players are in on their CTRS points and mixed doubles points.
And the Murphys were in as a playoff team from last year. So I think every possible qualification method has made the playoffs. And I guess Park and Thomas were last year's champions as well.
So already we're seeing our very standard and usual setup for a first end. Lots of rocks grouped around the top of the into the 4-foot center line area.
Yeah, a lot of jockeying for position in that 4-foot area early in the end. Everybody's trying to get an angle set up.
Yep, John. Yep.
Just fresh.
You're on the front. You're on the front.
Yeah, we gotta put it down. Just fresh in that spot.
As in the round robin draws, they had pregame practice with draw to the button to determine last rock here in the first end. And when you hear John talk about Epping, or John talking about that being fresh, so much of the play is geared towards drawing to that button area. So when he got it a little bit inside the line that they'd been throwing in practice, he got onto a pebble that hadn't been used. And it almost seems silly to see a rock in the middle and say it was fresh, but they pretty much throw everything in practice down that same path.
And then what we do notice, it does speed up very quickly. It doesn't take too many rocks down a particular path, and then you're at full normal key. So Janet very happy that John warmed up that path for her.
Taps the yellow onto the corner of the red and bumps it back. Red's still sitting shot rock. The yellows are in a pretty good line. I don't know that you could get any more than one of them to leave.
How much,
maybe
Sean?
2. Might be able to get the back one out.
Quarter, more.
Well,
looks like you can see enough to get the top.
We have watched all season long on the bonspiel season. John is just a super shot maker and has just proven weekend after weekend that not only does he deserve to be here at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship, but certainly at that national and international level. Had a fabulous Briar last year.
Getting tight on the line on this one as well. He's got to get by the guard.
Sure, just because I say that.
Hey, John.
well, this whole competition, we've certainly had the who's who of curling come through the Nutana Curling Club. It's been great for the fans. Saskatoon's always been a fabulous supporter of curling, and to be able to see all these people sort of up close and personal in a curling club setting has been truly fun.
I am, I'm taking quarter 8, which is okay.
We see a little bit of a contrast in styles here too, as far as how they want to position themselves in the game for calling the strategy. Weagle and Epping, both at the house end, want to take a look at the angles before they come down to throw, and we've seen the Murphy team before. It's not uncommon. Hugh Murphy down at that end takes a look to see where the rocks are situated, decides what shot they're going to call, then makes his way down to the other end to communicate the shot and sweep. Puts that right down on the face of that red shot stone, and John Epping, Lisa Weagle in a little bit of trouble here. They do have shot rock, but
Right here. I
might
can
have to
get
do some
those
damage
3
control.
yellows. I might be able to make. Yeah.
Where do you have to hit it?
2/3.
looking to run that guard back, try to move some yellows.
But what's really exciting here about the mixed doubles is we do get a lot of conversation and, close quarter conversation, not the skip yelling down to somebody in the hack type of comments. That it's really engaging to hear everybody's insight on to how they're going to approach a shot and a situation.
Sweeping that rock to try to get it to curl, but drives it by everything in the house.
Yeah, might as well, eh?
Let's move that a bit.
Like if you, like that goes in, you could play weight at it, I think.
I could.
Just
'cause
stay
that's,
on the nose.
we'll lose that, but
Yeah.
this is
And then,
this is coming off hard.
what would you want to throw?
Suppose I can throw normal, eh?
Yeah, it's just about nosing it.
Yeah. Okay.
So down to the final two stones here, and the Murphys are in a great position here in this first end. Looking for the nose hit here, and if they make it, it might just be a question of how many points they're going to steal.
Well, I think what's really exciting about a team like the Murphys is they might not be immediately recognizable to curling fans, but certainly no lack of talent and skill on a team like the Murphys. And we had several teams like that here. It just shows the depth of curling skills that we do have in this country. Competitive curlers on the Ontario circuit. If you can curl in Ontario, you can hold your own anywhere.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Does
whoa.
want to hit this on the nose.
Whoa,
If it rolls
whoa,
over a
whoa,
bit, there might be
right
some
off.
kind of a double for
Whoa,
one.
whoa, right off, right off, right off.
Makes the hit. Can she make kind of the triple there? Well, that one comes straight back onto the red. It still might be the only shot she's got.
Quarter rock.
Am I going to hit ours?
It might. We just gotta hope it spins. Gotta hope it spins. But if you hit a quarter spins off this. At least you stick there for one, right?
But if we jam it,
But
well,
if you jam it, you make the double, right?
okay, can you show me the broom?
I think
Okay.
Or
at this
sorry,
point,
wait. Okay.
at this point in the end, you're facing. Looks like 3 anyway. If you jam it at the back and only give up 1, that's maybe not a terrible result.
That's right. So Lisa looking for a skinny quarter with big
Hit a
weight.
quarter rock.
Quarter real hard?
Yeah, but take. You know where your ice is?
Yeah, I was just like
Take on the rock though. You can't.
on the
be-
rock. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this much inside rock, okay? Quarter rock.
There's a chance she wasn't going to have anything to shoot at here, so having some kind of a chance.
Curl! Go to curl!
Having to curl's not a good sign. If this goes through the port, it's a steal of 3.
Right through.
Hits the field goal. Pretty sure it's 3. We'll wait for them to indicate.
Oh, is it?
Well, I measured anyway.
Well, 2 for sure.
John hoping it's only 2.
Yeah, 2 for sure.
Sorry, John.
For all
John
the
seems
times
fairly
that
certain from our camera angle it looks like
Okay.
3, but we may not be directly over the center hole
We use
here.
the sticks ourselves.
Can we get
use the
measured?
sticks ourselves. You do?
It's okay.
Well, it doesn't matter at all. Whatever works best for you. You guys care whether it's stick or laser?
He's got the laser. It's fine.
we've seen on the very close measures that the stick will come out for a secondary measurement, but
I've seen it done. Well, that hole doesn't look so good.
on it seems like what if they're very clear with there we go.
We need somebody with a fingernail to clear the frost out of the center hole.
Have a look. My eyes are fucked up, so I can't see anything.
No, it's okay.
I got a contact that's messed up here.
Oh.
Going to school.
Why don't they want to use the laser?
There's ice in the hole.
What's that?
The hole's filled.
Oh.
Yeah. So
So we need a little drill bit here.
I think I should get to throw it again. I think I can make it if I get to throw it again.
well, I don't know. You know my eyes. It is close. Yeah.
Well, of course, all these Ontario
the
people,
fade.
they're all
Yeah.
very familiar with each other. Janet, general manager of the Mississauga Curling Club, so
Right. Yeah.
she's very
Red by
familiar.
quite a ways.
Yeah. So she's very familiar with
Okay.
all these Ontario curlers, and she plays on the circuit out there also.
This is
So it is just a steal of 2.
Okay.
freshy.
Quite the start.
Jeez. Yeah. Okay. We're good now.
Yeah, got those. Yeah, it was
Out of-
early
out of the
cobwebs.
way.
Just
Thank you,
those-
sir.
Out of the way.
It has to be here.
Because we had the afternoon off.
Oh, jeez.
Which way you going? Return?
Well, that's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard the two teams talking to each other while I was miking them up, and I think it was Janet Murphy who was saying when they phoned the hotel, of course, they were sitting to wait and find out who they were playing tonight, and they told them who it was, and they said, well, of course, that's who we'd have to play in the first game, because they all know each other quite well.
67.
That's lots.
I know it is.
Don't go near it.
We've all been there. I can remember myself going to Bonspiels in other parts of the country, and you end up getting drawn against another Saskatoon team after you've gone all that distance.
It's amazing how often that happens. At least in this case, they did play their way into this situation as compared to having it arbitrarily decided. But you're right, that does happen so often.
Just rubs the guard on the way by. Does stay in the top of the house.
Top 4, top 8.
I don't know.
How is it running? It's
It's
pretty
fast.
fast
It's
here
that
too, eh?
zone
I think
fast.
I had the
They've
wrong
been heavy
group.
there. Just
Okay.
top
I
8.
think I had the wrong
You're
group.
throwing the outer turn,
Inside
right?
edge? You want me to throw the edge?
Yeah, this
Well, they
is,
just threw it, I think.
Yeah, that,
Okay. Yeah.
Well, this is
sure.
where the curl is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Real fast.
yeah, real fast.
It's been the tendency of the ice here at the Newtowna Club. We've got curl on both sides of the sheet, but one sheet is certainly more pronounced, or one side of the sheet is certainly more pronounced than the other.
Stays out there.
So we've seen a lot of teams managing whether they want to be on the straighter side or the curlier side.
Nice line by the guard. This one might be a little strong.
all the way in, though.
Comes down to her own, taps it back.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Leaves Janet Murphy room to get down on top of it and be shot rock.
Down to it?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Can I tap it a bit?
Yes, you can if you want. You can.
Gain for those of you that are just sort of watching a couple of your first
no, then.
mixed doubles games. This
Oh,
was
yeah.
a new innovation this year,
Oh,
was that you
turn
did
it
not
around.
have a person
line
remain in the
yet.
house.
Gonna come
So
off
we've
it.
seen a
Line's
lot
get
of
better, line's good
blind
now.
targets here.
Whoa, curl, 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 curl.
Janet just squeaking by her own, gets nice position.
Pretty tight.
What's that?
A little bit tight going through there.
Little?
A little more.
And you saw that one as it was coming through, and Janet's calling curl all the way down, and Hugh didn't seem too worried. Of course, he knew that was the swingier turn. He certainly wasn't jumping on it anyway. She ended up in a good spot.
Line's good. You got room. Just for weight, John. Lots of room.
This one looks like it's got a lot more line than the last two stones coming in.
Whoa.
Curling now. He's got a little less weight.
Comes nicely across.
Nudges the yellow stone just to the back of the tee line, and shooter stays dead in behind cover.
Good.
Challenging part about this mixed doubles is you still need all the proper angles and precise shot making that you would in regular four-person curling, but you don't have the benefit of somebody in the house sometimes calling the line for you. There are only two of you gathering information about the ice. You've got a sweeper jumping up and sweeping their own rocks. So you're trying to make the exact same shots, but with less information and less number of teammates to help you out.
We need it to curl. We need it to curl. We need it to curl.
Janet thinking it needs to curl, but this one has a lot tighter line than the previous stone thrown by John Epping. Gets to the corner of it, taps it back. And it is still the Yellowstone sitting shot rock.
And importantly, she moved the Epping Weagle team's red rock behind the tee line.
Still sits there as kind of a catcher for the yellow. It's going to be tough to get that one out. The center guard hasn't been moved yet, so this Yellowstone is still half under cover. It's probably just the amount you need to jam it onto your own red. John Epping with some big weight here, trying to get some granite moving. He's got to create some room in that 4-foot area. Hits the wide one first and nudges the other stone almost directly in front of the red. That didn't work out quite the way they had in mind. If he gets that first one just a little bit thinner, he might have got that yellow over the top. Shooter's in a good position.
Oh, for sure. Murphy's are seeing danger, danger here. If that red's ever angle raised into those two yellows, they're gone.
Yep. Guard on the right-hand side.
They're guarding?
Yeah.
What do you want to play?
Double runner. As long as I make contact on that red and get into the pocket, we're golden, right?
Okay.
I just have to get into the pocket. Oh, girls are here, man.
So John calling the double runner, but if Janet can ever sort of cross this guard and take away that
Line.
exact
Whoa,
angle that
whoa.
Well, take
John's
away
looking
both.
for.
Yeah, he's looking at running one of the guards in. If you can stagger the guards, it's hard to do that.
Whoa. No. Good. Good.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an angle on either one of those guards to run into the red.
That's good. Good judge.
You couldn't have walked that stone down any better.
Just try and hit it as thin as you can.
Okay.
John's still thinking it's there. He can drive the one yellow across the top of the other and hope it goes straight back.
Still, most importantly, to remove these two yellow stones so that they're just down to a single guard for that situation.
Yep.
Hit it thick! Hit it
Yes!
thick! Hit it thick!
Tight lines are now looking to hit it thick and try to make sure he gets the double peel.
Sorry, Janet.
No, it's okay. Got it.
I knew it was coming.
Which he did, and you see the teams have learned through, well, I guess it's 7 round-robin games for each team that you don't want to see them come off the boards because they almost seem to gain speed.
And we've heard so many teams comment on how springy the dividers are here at Nutana. And same thing, we've got the same number of rocks flying all over, but half the people to try to catch them. So we've had a few minor incidents, where something's come in off the boards and impacted rocks in the house, and so everyone's had to readjust the positions, but it's all been very cooperative out there.
Looking
That's
at the
cool,
guard
too.
initially,
Why don't
I
we
know
just-
the line.
Like, we can go, like, here. I just think getting something there is better.
I know the line.
Okay. Okay.
it's a little scary to throw the guard here.
So which one are you going to play?
What's that?
Which one are you going to play?
The
We're
insert- the
yellow.
insert draw.
We're yellow. We're yellow.
Oh, okay.
We're yellow.
See all these skips that are so used to having people put rocks out for them. I think we teased Mike McEwen one night too. He had to. It's rarely that these
So this
skips
you're down
have
the
to
button.
do that menial labor and
Hook
go
it,
find
or
their own
even,
stone.
Like, tap off ours a bit, or freeze right into that pocket.
Talked about the guard, but they're going to play the draw right in.
I like Janet's call.
Yeah, a little scary to play the guard when you're playing out on one rock, and an angle slash in there might be for 4. I think you'd lose one of the reds at the back.
And as we saw from Lisa Weagle's last throw, she's capable of throwing big weight also. Just because she's a lead doesn't mean that she can't turn up velocity.
Got a curl.
Well, if you lock this one in there good enough too, it might be another one of those situations where Lisa doesn't even have a shot to score.
Got a curl.
Wants to get to the inside of his own stone. Did. Well, I myself don't know if there's a shot to score more
for
than
those.
1.
What's that?
For those, got a
Just for
curl.
one.
You might be able to get it inside that yellow enough to get the double on the 2 shot stones, and that might be for 2.
Lisa's brooming.
Do you feel more comfortable just hammering this?
What's the other option?
There's no other option. Like
You just want to know if you feel comfortable.
it actually is for 2. If you whisker by it, to hit this and just to move this.
Okay.
It is for 2.
Just like,
It's 3/4, 3/4.
okay.
And even if you're just
We
a
have to
little
score.
thick on the first one and
Well,
just
yeah, but you're-
dead jam it onto that one on the
try
button,
and
you'd
nut
get
it
a single.
3/4 nut it, right
Okay.
there.
How much?
Peel. It's just your peel.
Just like regular peel.
So this one will just come up a hair, right? This is just, okay?
Okay.
What are you going to take just outside middle?
Yeah.
If you're a little thin on the contact on the first one and it
3/4
rubs
high.
that
If you hit
higher
2/3
yellow
high, you'll get rid
stone,
of 2 yellows.
you might be in some trouble.
3/4 high.
Yep. Go.
On the sweep right away.
Yeah, John working that outside corner.
It's close.
Great
Drives it
shot,
by,
Lise.
makes the nudge on that second stone, and will pick up 2 points. Great shot by Lisa Weagle, and we're all tied up.
That was a better throw.
See the little hand gesture from John. That was easy, just like that.
Nothing to it. Now we know why we have Lisa throwing last rock on this this team.
Now he comes up another 2 inches. That's not there.
That's right, Hughes' shot just had to just keep curling him.
They wanted to get across face their own. I guess he did get just a sliver, but needed to roll under that red enough that there was no slash in there.
Look at you, sitting there eating crisps.
Intern?
Yep. In turn.
It's fast, eh?
Yep.
Oh, replay
That
of our crisps commercial.
Wasn't the replay I was expecting, but it's been a long couple of days for Carey as well.
Easy early.
Okay. It's got to go for line.
Yep. Take a look. I think
gotta
you
go
gotta
for
go.
line.
Gotta go.
Gotta
Gotta
go
go. Gotta go.
Always got to leave it.
Coming by the guard very tight on that one. It will peek out a little bit on the other side. Does stay at top 4 foot.
That was a better throw. That was like how I was throwing yesterday.
Yeah.
Just
But the other
like
one you tried to throw
I
too
had
hard.
a
I think you
little
think you
shove.
had to throw
Yeah.
it hard.
71. Weight's all there.
And probably of all the first shots that we've seen, we've probably seen about
Way to go.
Hot.
75% of them go to the
Hot.
back
Sorry.
rock right away. Maybe not always intentionally, but the power position has been to put it where Lisa did there, that top 4 foot, and let the opposition worry about how they have to bump that back.
And bit of a mistake here, and he knew early that was heavy. He's already saying sorry. He just
Try and get to the
hand.
nose.
Comes down, nudges the roan stone a little bit out of the 4-foot.
And just like
Little
in
more,
regular
Elise.
curling, that
A little
first
more.
shot by each of the leads is usually sets the tone for the kind of end that we're going to see.
Well, you can
Doing
certainly
good stuff.
understand so far in this
Go, go,
game
go,
if Lisa Weagle and John Epping felt a little bit shell-shocked. Now they've finally got an opportunity to turn the tables, put some pressure on the other way. Need a good draw here.
Well, certainly disheartening for the Murphy team. Think you had a very strong steel set up there in the second end. Lisa makes a tremendous shot, and you know you really want to answer with a great first shot, and then you don't. So
Still pretty
bit of a bounce back required here by the Murphys. Even though the scoreboard's tie, you could certainly feel the momentum shift there.
So now this is the first stone where they can
Needs to
remove a
curl.
rock
Yeah,
from play.
no,
And with
no.
the angle's not setting up well for them, I'm going to try to bail out a little bit, see if we can make some kind of run back. Oh, just drives that by everything. That's
Play the intern. We know it.
The intern?
Yeah.
the
we know it.
danger when you're playing those types of run backs. If you just drive it by, you can see where the shooter didn't even roll out of the way. It's not covering anything right now, but it is blocking the draw.
All you can hope is that you do get some sort of a shot later and then can use that corner guard. But we don't have that many rocks in an end to
Yeah,
work
there's not
with.
a lot of later to work with.
How is it?
Lines, weight's good. You're gonna have to go. Yep. Yep, really hard, Lise. Really hard.
It's dying.
Okay, now I agree with you. That should be illegal. Rip it again.
Told you.
Yeah.
It's actually so refreshing having some congenial comments out there. We're so used to watching so many serious curlers out here that it's nice to have that just a little bit of levity to take some of that pressure off.
Oh, good.
Might as well enjoy the
This is
moment.
close on the run back.
Good.
Makes contact, spills the raised stone off, so now just that one red stone at the top of the 4-foot.
Minimizes some of the trouble. There are, even though they're a little long ways out front,
What do
they
you
are
think up
yellow
here?
to work
A
with.
little wider than we've been.
Give you a little more, but I think it'll still curl.
Okay.
Or still go.
John Epping looking to still come around that wide intern. Has to go wide enough to get around that guard that's off the center line now. And this will be a path they haven't thrown a lot all weekend.
Still, I find that admirable for Janet. You do have the choice of who
How is
you
it?
want to have throw first and fifth rocks and the three up the middle. So here you are as Janet Murphy, who's an accomplished, excellent curler, but you're throwing three stones against one of the finest shot makers we've got in the country, and that has to be somewhat intimidating. I know
Well,
you
yeah.
always tell yourself yellow rocks versus red rocks, but boy, you certainly have to keep your game at your number one A1 level here.
You heard them speculating on that path before John went down to throw. He was sure it would still curl. Looks like it might have been a little bit heavier down there too. He was going to be light even if he does get by. At least a chance for Janet to play another run back. And this one needs to hold the line a little bit. It's close. Oh, just ticks it on the way by. Might have ticked it into the opening though. There'll be a port between those guards now.
Shoot.
Nice try, Del.
Really close.
Is there tolerance on this?
Yeah.
No.
That's just like the last
I mean,
second
they can
end.
run back
So what
center, but I
options do
like
we
them.
have?
That's risky.
None.
Do you think it's going to be a little heavy out there?
I don't think it can be too bad, really. Like, You want to give me a couple of feet more? Give me. What do you
Yeah.
want to give me? 3 feet more? Like we can draw to theirs, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna take ice here,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
We know this spot. Right?
Trying to come around from the out turn.
Yeah,
and
I threw it in
that
practice.
guard's
Oh, no, I didn't.
just touching
give
the
me a
center,
couple
so they
feet.
don't have
Yeah,
to
give me a
go
couple feet
much
more.
wider
Here?
than they're
Yeah.
used
just
to
a
playing
yeah,
here.
I think so. Has to be. Yeah.
Still, I'm always fascinated by you when you've got somebody who's a career skip playing with somebody who's a career lead. Just how much more quickly the angles are seen, the options, the questions that the leads are
You
verifying
gotta go, John.
with their partner.
Gotta go.
No, we're good, Lise.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
It's curling too much, actually.
Whoa.
It's good, Lise.
Brings that into the back forefoot, but it is kind of in between those yellows.
It's a great spot.
Yeah, I guess.
Just
You can
going
follow
for
it down. It stayed enough on the corner of that yellow. I don't think even if you played the port to make the double, I think you'd jam.
I was just trying to make sure that Hugh comes down to this. He will still be shot if he's got backer, if it has to be a cold draw for a piece of that button.
Well, he
Oh,
can come
he
back to it,
What's that,
but
Dom?
I didn't realize how much of the red one you could see. But I don't know if it's for more than one anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you want to go look again?
Yeah. I don't know if I can spill. I think you just spilled now. Everything just
No,
jams.
because that one's going to go on the
Everything
yellow.
just jams.
Okay.
didn't have to go all the way down to the other end to be able to tell. Certainly the one jams, and I think it comes across and hits the other one, so
Yeah, T lines.
the throw through the
That was a
port, you might not even be
14-6
able to score. It might jam, stay enough in the forefoot that you'd still be giving
Not
up
quite as
one.
quick on this side.
Now the danger here in trying to come to the backing, and we've seen it all weekend, you throw a few extra weight to make sure you're there, 3 extra feet of weight to make sure you're there, and it doesn't curl up the same.
Wait, good.
No, so a precise shot required here by Hugh.
Room.
Still
Right.
drifting back off that line. This might be a little strong.
It's T-line.
Starting to curl now. Still has to come up to get onto that red. He's going to touch it, but spins off, and I think it's a steal of 2.
Certainly one red for sure.
Well, might have to move the other one out of the way to tell.
Yeah, 2.
And it is 2.
Sorry, bud. It was just,
Too hard.
well, I thought your ballpark. I thought it would warp in your broom.
Well, both teams are probably going to start declining the hammer, at least on the odd ends.
It's not that often that have 3 ends and 2 of them have been steals.
Well, and the other one would have been as well if not for a fantastic final shot by Lisa Weagle. We joke about teams declining the hammer. That actually is the option here. You do have the option. We haven't seen anybody do it yet, and we were wondering earlier on, and
You know your line?
it'll be interesting as this
Yeah,
game
5
evolves
here, right?
to see
Yeah.
when teams start to look at the statistics.
goes
There
in
may
there.
be times when a
Get
team
out to it.
does
Yeah, get out
actually
there and
opt
then
to
just
throw
give it to
first. It hasn't happened yet, but that's not to say it won't.
Again, that's sort of one of the quirks to regular curling is that you have the decision each
Mine's
end.
no, they're pretty good.
That it's not
that?
necessarily the
Moving forward,
hammer.
if you need curls,
So
bring her
everybody
over.
we've seen
Mine's
has
really
taken
good.
the decision and taken the hammer, but that option is there to keep stealing, and
if
we've
we get
seen
up to
teams
the
get
north-
back in 2 games
Yep.
stealing.
Nice sweeping.
Probably just top button.
But the Murphys are a resilient team. We've seen all sorts of point swings in all of the games that we've been at. And the Murphys had one where they were playing Rachel Holman and Mark Nichols. Murphys gave up 5 points in the first end. And the next thing when we looked, that game was, I believe it was like 9-9 coming home. And Rachel had to make a nice shot for 2 points for the win.
Post. Yep, go.
And only
Yep, go.
And Hugh was telling us after that game that in retrospect, that tactic of giving them 5 in the first end didn't seem like maybe it was the best way to go.
No, they were trying to lull them into that false sense of confidence and hoping they'd sort of forget about the rest of the game, but it just about worked if they'd only given up
Same
4.
way, John?
Here, P.
Yeah.
Nice little tap there of that well-positioned first stone. Gets it behind the tee line.
And we've heard that an awful lot from the games that we've been covering, the mental resets that teams talk about here. 2 points on the board here isn't as big as 2 points in regular curling. That they just keep saying, just stay calm, stay
Line looks a little
close.
tight out of your hand.
It's just
Pause,
about
wait.
that 3 points is the expectation every end when you've got the hammer, not 2.
Go, go, go. Nice shot. Thanks.
Nice draw to the top of the 4-foot there. Gets that inside that yellow for, well, I can't tell if it's second shot or not. It's
No.
just
stay
about
here.
dead in behind cover,
Right
though.
there.
There's not much the Murphys can do with it.
Play the double.
What's that?
Do we play the double?
You can, yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
You can freeze in the pocket. Freeze on the red one.
Inside?
No. The
Oh.
outturn still.
Yeah.
It's, if we can get a
Okay.
jam on it, the two of theirs will go.
Okay.
22 minutes on the clock here to work with for thinking
Mine's
time.
good.
So we've seen a lot of these teams.
Mine's really
we just saw a
good.
great
Yep.
example there with Janet. They will take their time here to discuss
Whoa,
the
needs
shot,
to
the
curl.
setup, the angles.
Needs to
But
curl.
once they've made that decision, they don't spend any time in the hack.
Needs to
They just
curl.
go. I think we gave Ryan
Hey, you're
Fry the
good
award
now.
for the fastest one out of the hack. But that's where you make up the times on your clock and still allow yourself the
Okay.
the discussion time. So gain just that little
Just bump
bounce.
that off that little bit. They wanted to leave themselves an angle on the red.
Okay. Similar weight, eh?
What's that?
Similar weight?
Same weight.
Same weight?
Haven't gone
really.
through and checked the sheets of ice that everybody's played on, but with 7 games and 8 sheets of ice, you're not seeing all the sheets
Wanna
of
try and
ice that
nose
are
it?
available. But I think the
Roll
one
it
thing here,
with
the
hack?
ice has just been superb
Yeah,
at
sure.
Newtown.
Hack and roll a bit.
Yeah.
It's been reasonably
that.
consistent from
Yeah.
sheet
Just the
to
line.
sheet.
Only reason I'm worried is getting the line right because we're
Yeah.
in tight, but
Yeah.
it's probably the shot at least. So maybe that much ice, hack,
Just off nose?
forward.
Forward? Okay.
It's got
The
to
initial
curl.
thought was they were just going to freeze to that, maybe tap it a little bit, because I don't think they minded the angle that the yellows were at, that they actually come by the button.
Little more, Elise. Whoa, little less. Less.
John now looking at a shot where he can actually angle them away from the button and get rid of one. So just looking for inside, just
Yep.
enough to roll over to the inside corner
Yep.
of it.
Whoa, whoa! Curl, curl, curl.
Doesn't want to be in the outside of this. He could leave that yellow-red angle. Kind of like that. Hard to tell from the
Yeah.
angle that we're at whether or not that might clip the top of the red stone at the back of the 4-foot as well.
That was bad.
I think Lisa Weagle might have a
Normal
future
weight
in,
off- it's not
in
hitting
commentary
theirs
as
onto
well.
ours.
Okay, so hit theirs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hit how
just,
much
I
of
mean,
theirs?
just feather theirs. Feather
Oh.
theirs and come onto ours.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah, normal weight?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you can get past the guard with normal weight. If you have
Okay.
to take it down a step to,
What guards?
there's a
Oh,
long
the
guard.
intern?
Okay, no. You got the right shot. You're coming off theirs.
Off their-
theirs onto ours.
Off
So-
their yellow.
yeah,
Off
so
their.
outturned.
Yeah.
Off theirs. Good.
Okay. The guards don't even play. Okay.
Still always good to get shot clarification here.
Yeah, Hugh's seen it from this end. The guard's in play more than she thinks, because with what they're looking to hit of the red, she's going to have to get some finish after the guard. She needs to just feather tick that red. Hits it a little too thick and goes across the top of the yellow.
Still keeps that rock in play, and it's safe from any run backs on yellow onto the 2 reds.
John thinks it misses the stone at the back of the forefoot. Didn't sound like Lisa was sure, that's why she asked.
I think that's the shot. Sad, or I can go there.
You just threw this.
Yeah, I think we just go there.
Stay with what you know.
Again, just to go back to the interesting dynamic where John and Lisa stay at the house end, and for the Murphys, Hugh is down there. But you heard on the discussion of the last one, I don't think Janet realized just how thin she had to hit that stone. Hugh knew. He was trying to explain to her she was going to have to get some finish by that guard, but I think she may have thought they were more even than they were.
Lisa, go. Go, Lisa, really hard.
No, that's a really good point.
Really
that
Whoa.
in retrospect,
Really hard.
maybe Janet just coming down to
Really
take a
hard.
quick peek
Really hard.
would have helped at that visualization.
Well, breaks the angle enough on those two that I think definitely the red goes over the top of the second one now.
Have that center guard up there, though.
It's controlled.
Okay.
Looking to hit the outside edge of that red stone and drag the yellow
there
into the
anything
stone
on
at
the
the top of the
intern?
forefoot.
What's that, Doll?
Is there anything on the intern? No? This is my last one, eh?
There might be
You
a
wanna
shot on
run
the
the-
intern, but you'd have to play it
You wanna
quieter.
run the guard?
Pardon?
Do you want to run the guard with the intern onto theirs and spill it that way?
I don't
Open
know.
up a bit?
I don't know.
You
You
can
got all
take
the
a time out
angles,
and have a look.
Okay.
So taking one of 2 timeouts, and likely a good
stuff.
call here. This is a really crucial setup for them. They certainly don't want to go down further going into the 4th end break.
Well, and they have some rocks around too, so still a chance to score some points here.
So there was the outturn
I mean, 'cause I'm
shot
thinking,
called,
this will
and then
drag it this way.
Janet was looking at
This will drag
something
it
on the
into
intern,
this.
and then all of a sudden Hugh throws in the option of running the
You'll
center
put-
guard
that'll
in.
stay there, but
that-
I mean, you're gonna roll
I
out
think-
You want
here.
me to get this here?
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
I
a really
could
good
just get that here.
timeout.
Yeah.
I just don't think it'll drag and stick.
Oh, I mean, it's gonna roll back. If you throw it hard, it'll spill off.
Yeah.
But we'll move these behind the tee, and this
Okay.
one out here in any case.
Okay. I believe you.
Okay, what's that?
Well, I believe you totally. What, wait, control?
That's right, if
Stone
she
on
could
the outside, control by
Hit
the-
to where we just seen her put her broom on that rock and try to get that angle moving in. She can hit it on the outside broom side. That yellow rock won't
What?
come back
Straight in.
as straight as what it looks. It will take a bit of an angle in towards the center line.
Half a stone, which is just about what I can see. I can see a little more than half. Control it.
So the key here is actually trying to open something up
gonna
on the
grow it.
intern side by taking that
won't grow much.
red out of the top of the forefoot, moving it behind the tee line at least.
Whoa,
That's
whoa,
really
whoa,
light,
whoa,
babe.
whoa, whoa. Whoa, curl, 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 curl!
She does have control weight.
Needs a little bit of finish here to get half. Gonna get a little thinner than that. Actually manages to hold her raised stone for shot rock, and I think she's hitting 2.
Fine.
Yeah, it's yours, but just gotta watch. We don't leave them in
Oh, well done, Janet. Big pocket here at the back, but
Yeah,
pressure
you gotta be
now
careful.
on
If you come into the pocket, there might be an in-off double on the yellow, on the red, just biting the edge of the forefoot on the left as we see it.
Where's ideal?
You might have to stop in front of the pocket.
What's ideal?
Well, you gotta. Ideal's probably just to maneuver it, move it a little bit,
Okay.
or this is the best result. That's the best result. to
I
tap.
know the side.
Yeah, the best result is to move it. Best result is to move it just to the top of the button. That is the best result.
Do you want to
Or
play
to
that?
other with the intern, but I think you know the tap.
I think so too.
Like you're just throwing T-line weight. All I gotta do is move it a foot.
So great for the split screen view there. We get the chance to see how it's
That's
going to look
almost
from the
just
hack as
just
well
one
as over
more, so Just a
top.
little more than that, eh?
Yeah, their
You
first
like it?
thought was to
Give
come in
me,
from that
back
intern side,
four.
and
Okay.
it
Where are you
looks
taking ice
appealing,
here?
but there's that in-off. You might leave that
Is that
in-off
what you
double
think?
on this
Sure.
one on the side, and
There.
this might be the easiest shot to make sure they keep it in behind cover or
Yeah.
in front of the tee line. They played a lot of draws down this side. They know the path.
Line's close. Whoa, you got room. Room.
Still not curling a lot. Had to get close to the nose. Not going to hit it exactly where they want it to. Does get it
Does
to
get
a
shot
sliver of the
rock
button.
for
It
them.
is shot rock.
Must be at least half under.
Oh, through here.
Yeah, through there.
Lisa threw great weight on that shot, and well, if she'd had a
Yeah,
couple
perfect.
feet more, it would never have come up enough.
Go.
It doesn't go, you don't think?
Yeah, I don't think there's a port there.
At least if you go into that, we still score here.
Yeah, but I'm losing this hard, right? I'm losing this hard. I don't want these.
Well, we got to figure out how to score one.
Direction like
I still
that.
think, looking at it from this angle, I think you could still play the red at the edge of the 4-foot, come across and actually nudge that one towards the top of the 4-foot and get your 2 that way.
Okay, I'll try.
You're going to be on the back end of that stone.
Okay.
Actually, it might even be, if you can throw it hard, it might even be for 3 because your shooter would come back and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better to hit that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, the longer I look at that, again, we're not at the true angle, so you do have to defer to the players on the ice a little bit, but I'm not so sure that the double's not there on the Reds.
Well, Janet, though, said we have to score here, and there's no room for error on the multiple, on your call there, that if they only had half rock go through
You
that
can't
port.
go through, there's no room.
But if Janet doesn't make that shot perfectly, so at least here, going after shot
it.
rock, they've got a better chance to bring in their second shot right now.
I don't think there is a port. If you touch the yellow stone on the way by at all, you're only getting
This
one.
one's
Now with
straight,
the other
straight.
stone, there's no port
that
between the
good
reds. You're definitely coming into the other red. You can't. The only way you don't come into it is if you hit it too thick.
Well, that's what Janet's worried about is let's make a play on shot rock here.
Yep.
So
Hold it
looking
out.
to try to pick this through the
Hard. Hold
port.
it out. Hold it out. Hurry up.
Makes the hit. Dead jams it onto the yellow, and it's going to be a steal of 1.
She would get down with somebody I know. I guess that's just how it goes when you break up in a small town. I see our friends and they put on a show like they don't want me to know. So they give me the go around. But there's only so many streets, so many lives. I swear it's like I can't.
Look at you, sitting there eating crisps.
They're chips.
They're crisps, and that's a killing, Tony, and you're missing it.
I'm watching it.
You should be there with your king, feeling the cold of the ice, hearing the roar of the game, and drinking the cold, cold barley nectar.
You mean beer.
Barley nectar. Now get off your duff and live it live.
Curling Canada is home to the most celebrated series of curling championships the world has to offer. You've got to live it live.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the four of us when we step on the ice.
Two months premature and a heart condition. One might say I was born to overcome challenges. I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now. I have my sights set on the Olympics, and I will push hard to get there.
Welcome back, everyone. We'll update all the scores here in this all-important round of 12. On sheet 5, it is the team of Nancy Martin and Caitlin Schneider. They took a 4-2 lead into the break. That game already underway in the 5th end. Emma Miskew, Ryan Fry trying to come back there. On sheet 6, defending champions Kaylin Park and Charlie Thomas with a 5-3 lead there when they went into the break over Joanne Courtney and Reed Carruthers. That game also in the 5th, and all games now in the 5th end. On sheet 7, it's Rachel Holman and Mark Nichols with a 4-2 lead over Jennifer Baxter and Mark Dacey.
So we have had a timeout in our game and a measure, but there's certainly at least a half end behind all the other games.
And it looks like they're setting up for, we're going to see our first power play of this playoff game when we come back.
So single knockout, do or die here in all of these games. It's a little different, you know, when you're in the round robin, sort of always have tomorrow, but there is no tomorrow for teams that lose out this evening.
Like they're upside down or upside down.
Well, just before we went to the break, the last shot for the Murphys. It's one of the things that we've seen a little bit, because you're on such a tight time clock. There are times when you don't get to really take a look around and see all the possible shots. I don't think, and again, from up here, it's impossible to know for sure if that double that I was talking about was even there. You'd have to see it from the ice level to know whether you could get to the back end of that stone. But it wasn't even one of the shots that they looked at. So. But you don't have time. There's not a lot of time to dawdle and look around and try to find angles all over the place.
Well, again, it was back to Janet's, I believe, second shot where
yeah, exactly.
She hit it a little too thick trying to come in, and that might have been an opportunity to go down, take a look there, and believe that angle.
From the discussion, it didn't sound like she understood the angle as much as he was telling her. You know, if she could get by the guard tight enough, and she didn't think the guard was in play, but for as thin as she had to hit that red, the guard was in play.
Well, there's no doubt it looks different from the hack as compared to standing in the tee line.
Yeah, just the way she said it, it sounded like she thought the red and the yellow were dead even, and the red was high enough that, you know, she made a fairly good hit on it. She hit it thin, maybe a third of the stone, but that was still enough to go across the face.
Pretty healthy extension.
But you're wider than we've been, so it might be, you might manage okay with this.
Healthy extension is politically correct term for I pushed it.
You gotta go.
But again, all the little factors that you have to bring in, how observant John was to say that, you know, it is a little wider, we're on a different path, it could run a little differently. Just one of those hundreds of little details that you have to pay attention to when you're out here in a game.
Huh?
They make a perfect guard.
Okay.
Okay, come up and sweep. I have the wrong.
We were talking again with the Murphys before the game and talking about this power play situation. And again, you only get one shot at each game, and the strategy's still evolving. So some teams not feeling they've had a lot of success with it, and it was Hugh, I think, that said, well, we've scored a couple of four-enders with it, but we've also given up a couple of steals at twos, so they haven't got it figured out yet necessarily either, but a great opening shot there. They now have two looped around the guard. And John Epping had said if they make that shot perfectly, we're going to have to guard our own. Weagle and Epping here seems to have taken the approach in this particular power play that they want to try to force the play to the middle.
Perfect guard.
Peel.
Just move it off.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So again, in their time-saving
Clean.
mode here,
Whoa, whoa,
Hugh will put the
whoa.
broom down and then meet Janet's rock about halfway down, hoping to keep that yellow on the corner. But Janet called peel, and Hugh was just trying to sort of get the hit and roll, keep protecting that corner. So again, maybe just a little bit of a disjoint here on what the person in the hack is seeing versus the person with the broom.
Now I expect we're going to see a run back. Get a quick peek at the clocks there. Both teams a little tight for time. Not bad.
But enough to be concerned, especially if you've used your one time out already.
Roll it.
Well,
Okay. Sorry.
Drives it by the two in the rings, and
That's what
Some
Hugh
confusion
was
there.
trying to get out of Janet's shot, was remove the guard and keep helping yourself. So great example from John here, how to get 2 results out of 1 shot.
Close. Yep.
now looking to come by that guard
Whoa.
and remove that shot stone. And you can tell now the Murphys are a little bit more concerned about the clock, because this is a more delicate shot. She didn't wait for him to come down to sweep this either.
Whoa.
So
Yeah,
very
maybe didn't need
nicely
to.
played by Janet.
No hesitation from John either. Going to play the double on the 2 group stones. That rolled far enough out from under the guard. He could play the hit and roll in behind, or he might even have a double across the house. Going to play the easy one, or easier one. It's just a nose hit to make the double here.
yep. Whoa. Close. You're fine.
It's just a little off the nose with the big weight. Squirts it all the way out the other side of the house.
Well, we'll see if Hugh calls down, try to corner freeze that, or if they're going to come around the center.
Which way in?
Either way, your choice. Player's choice.
Player's choice. There we go.
Are you comfortable with that? Or?
This is maybe another one of those cases where
Go
rushing a
hard.
little
Go
bit
hard.
is
Go hard.
causing you
Go hard.
some issues. You come around the guard here, you might leave a double. You're not scoring more than 2 at this point in the end anyway, because they're going to hit the open rock.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hard part, though, is if you do corner freeze over to that red one and then they hit and roll underneath your red, you're still kind of in trouble.
Draw full 8 foot in the open, and then there's no double.
Where do I have to hit it? What do you want?
Would you want to play the slash? It's thin though. It's you can try it, or it's. Wanna try the slash thin?
Yeah.
It's thin though.
She didn't get
Just
deep
throw,
enough to make it
How much do I have to
a
hit?
real easy double. You hear them talking about being
Less.
thin.
Less?
Just like try to hit a quarter.
Contact.
Quarter?
Yeah, make contact. Try to hit a quarter.
Nice
Okay.
easy peel.
Yeah, just your regular peel, edge of the rock, little right on the edge. We have contact.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
Makes the hit on the first one, just drives it by that stone at the top of the 4 foot. Nice attempt.
So
Shooter
Janet
did roll
coming
out of
down
play.
to sweep this open draw for 2.
I was sliding way wide. I had to kind of soft it.
Needs just a little bit better than full 12 to pick up their 2 points. Setting up for the out turn, throwing the out turn, which means he does have to get around that guard that's a little bit off the center line. So going a little wider. This is the same draw he threw in the 3rd end, though. He was a little deep on that, but he wasn't through the house by any means.
Good here. 2.
And brings that one into the back 4 foot area. Gets his 2 points. John Epping and Lisa Weagle will have a 1 point lead on last rock as we play the 6th. Heard a little sigh there from Janet as she said it's 2. Not sure if 2 is considered a good result on the power play or not. I heard them say before the game they've scored 4s, but they've also given up steals of 2.
Well, they certainly at least got their 2 points. That if they would have only got the one, that certainly would have been a fail. But
Yeah, very good.
it was, again, Janet with the peel on the center guard. Good call. I mean, they had to get themselves out of, open up that shot. But if she could have rolled over and saved her shooter for another corner, might not have given John that opportunity for the double. And with that double, the chance for the 3 points went away.
Well, he may have never had the chance for the run back either, and without the run back attempt that he didn't make, but he rolled over and gave himself a little bit of protection. While they set up for this end, we'll let everybody know that our next broadcast will be tomorrow morning. The quarterfinals, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Sign-on will be available 10 minutes before, and we'll find out sometime tonight who who's going to be playing in our feature game. We know who 4 of the teams that are through. We're waiting on the other 4, and then we've got direct camera access to sheets 4 and 5. We're not sure which games will be on that sheet, that set of sheets, so we'll probably have to update that in the morning for you.
Stay close.
You gotta go, Lise. Can you go, Lise? Go, Lise. Go. Go.
Hugh Murphy gets to the back button with his first stone, and Lisa Weagle trying to follow it down. They were worried about getting it to curl early. Now this is almost going to peek out the other side. Nudges it just a bit, so it is the red stone sitting shot.
It's been really interesting in all the games that we've watched. You know, not once have we heard the discussion about scoring in the even ends and trying to blank the odd ends, and particularly scoring in the 6th end of an 8-end game. That piece of strategy has not come into play here at all with this format.
It won't be part of this game. Now we are starting. We speculated on it a little bit earlier than the players have, but we're starting to hear at times in close games the players discussing, do we want to score 1 and 7 or give up the steal?
That's been the more common conversation. And then again, when you blank an end, you lose the hammer. So that's been a huge part of just basically score anytime you can. It doesn't really matter what if you're going away or coming home.
Well, and Weagle Epping still have their power play left, so they're jockeying as far as when to score and when not to score.
You're fine.
That'll
you're
affect
fine,
that
you're fine.
over the next 2 ends.
What do you think of that slide?
John suggesting he may not have slid directly at the target on that one.
Don't panic, right? Don't panic.
It's more than one way to make a shot.
Should we guard one more time?
What's that?
Should we guard one more time?
Yes.
Guard
In
our
her
yellow?
setup, asking what the shot is. That's time saving.
Okay. It's good guard speed.
Whoa. Whoa. No. No. Over curling. Whoa. Whoa, Hugh. Whoa.
Actually, the angle that Hugh was sweeping at, he was going to make
Sorry,
it curl more.
In that moment where I said
How much, John?
I didn't really get a good line.
Well, and there, an
How much
interesting
weight are you
comment.
throwing?
Back line.
Murphy's rushing a little bit. You said she was in her back, well, in her setup, almost had the backswing started when she confirmed that it was a guard, but she never thought about the line, and that's
Middle
what
left.
rushing can do to you.
Minimizing
Goodbye.
Curl
Good.
kind of thought
You're
John was
right.
a little in
It's
out
gotta be
on that
close.
throw.
It's got to be close. Oh,
Looking to make the
shot.
push on the yellow end.
Did you just nice shot yourself?
sorry.
Who's back here?
Tap? How far to move it?
Back, move it 5 feet back.
Good catch by Lisa there. It's just a reflex, you know, especially as a skip, you know, you see a nice shot come in there and you want to give your teammate an encouragement, so you give them the nice shot, but of course in that particular one, John was also the thrower.
Curl. Curl.
That one hung out a little bit. It does move that red stone, but the yellow rolls over to the corner of the 8-foot, and there's an angle on the red yellow to push that
It's
yellow
okay,
out.
like get this back here.
I don't know.
Okay.
Are they
Okay,
flipped around?
that's okay.
Might be able to double the
It's gonna be tough
yellows
to
and
do, but get it.
Oh, I
get
think
it out of
4
there.
for the time being.
Okay.
It's big
Okay, so
trouble
Peel.
here for the Murphy team.
Peel hit 2/3 with Peel. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I don't see where the Murphys are going to have any pockets or anything to work with either. One guard, it's long. There won't be anything to come down to behind that guard either. John Epping looked to drive the red onto the yellow and bring the other one back. One jam, and the shooter actually a little thin on the second one, spins through the back.
It's your turn, Hugh.
Certainly got the
Your
2
throw.
yellow rocks out of play, but I think that shot had the opportunity to be made an awful lot better. That
Yeah,
set up a bit of a chance here for the Murphys
See
to
if you get it,
possibly
man,
wiggle
head.
out of this.
That's okay. Just make
I'm
this
not
double.
sure they needed to throw Peel at it, really.
Make
It
the
was,
double.
it was a pretty natural
It's your
angle.
last shot.
Take a look at this one coming in. If he gets this first one just a little bit thicker, he comes across and his shooter would stick on that yellow. Spins back and through the rings, and maybe a little unfortunate with where he hit the first ones that left an angle for a double. Might be able to get the double and roll under cover here. Felt something underneath that on his back swing.
Just setting up his target line there. It's fun watching everybody's pre-shot routine.
Yeah, does after he found that, takes a complete reset, redoes all of his pre-shot routine.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. 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 Whoa, whoa,
Just to curl a little bit to make sure he gets the double, not a jam. Like to get the double too.
Okay, good.
Gets the double.
Room. Okay.
Lise.
Okay.
Not able to get the roll, so it'll be an open hit for Lisa Weagle. If she can stay right there, would pick up 2. Second shot, that red one you can see on the right-hand side, just biting the back of the 8-foot.
Okay. Let's go.
Not too much curl here, eh?
No, just like take this much outside the edge of the rock.
Okay.
With control.
Control weight.
Yeah.
Whoa, you might have to make it curl. Curl, John! Curl!
It is hanging out here.
This is the straighter side as well now. If she hits this too thin, she could jam it at the back.
He's doing a good job to hold that shooter.
Gets enough curl out of it to hit that solid, stays right there, gets her 2 points.
Good sweeping.
And that's a big 2 points for Weagle and Epping, because you now take that 3-point lead, and here's the thing, even if you give up 2, maybe even 3, you still have your power play left for the 8th end, so you know that the middle should be open. That has to be in the back of the minds for the Murphys as well. You may have to go a little bit more aggressively here in this end. You have to score at least 2. It's pretty tough. It's not to say it can't be done, but it's pretty tough to have to steal a multiple point against the power play.
Sweeping's overrated. Sweeping's overrated.
We've heard nastier things said about sweeping.
Okay.
Intern?
Yeah.
Well, again, that's
Okay, let's
the
make it good.
trade-off that you have to consider here when you're playing mixed doubles, in the sense that to have John's prowess in the house, calling shots, seeing angles and everything, but he's
close.
certainly out of the
Late.
comfort zone here as an everyday sweeper.
Easy for line.
Go, go.
I think we should give him a corn broom and see how long he complains about having to sweep with the brush.
Spot, Lisa.
First
You
shot.
didn't need to, eh?
Yep.
It's okay.
Pulls that stone into the top 4 foot. Not shot rock, but again, anything in front of the tee line's in a powerful position.
Yeah.
75.
Okay.
Seems like
So we'll start peeling when we can.
Yep.
line only.
So it's
You get it around
twice
him.
Lisa's first rock has come into that top 4 instead of coming to the back stone, and it was very successful for them in the
Yes.
third end, setting up that steal of 2.
Okay, let's go, John.
Heavy again.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hugh comes by everything and does come
Gotta
to
give
his
me a
own
little
judges
more
it.
because I can't touch the, yeah.
He's got shot rock, but right now still needs to worry about dealing with that red at the top of the 4 foot at some point, and didn't set up anything that way. Says I can't remember now. It's 4 or 5 of John's stones in a row that he's thrown and had to jump up and sweep right away. If he doesn't like the sweeping so much, he should try maybe throwing 5 or 6 feet more weight.
Oh, you're real close. Oh. Nice shot.
Did a great job on the brush to get it there, but he knew out of his hand he needed to go. Just rubbed the red on the way by, but I think that might have actually benefited his stone. He left a really good angle. He's got angle to double the yellows right now.
Earlier in the game, we saw the Murphys trying the run in on this kind of a shot, but this is so late now that
Line's really
they have
good. Yeah,
to
line.
start taking more chances
Line's
with
good.
come around taps.
Yeah, line. Line.
Really curling on that swing
Line,
return.
line.
Wants to get by the one at the top of the 4 foot right now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
Hugh
whoa.
doing a great job of holding that.
And nudges that back to unlock them at least. Still angled onto it, but
Hammer that.
there wasn't really room to come by the red tight enough to
Those two.
set up a different angle. You just had to
Whatever you like.
create room to move that red.
I mean, killing 2 right now is pretty good, no?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Are you nose or just high?
Like a quarter rock.
Okay.
Certainly prepared to give up 2 points if they have to, but
Well, I
with
think
that
part of his,
3-point lead. Oh, timeout, here
they're
we
going to
go.
call a timeout. Not sure what he thinks he sees different from this end. I'm wondering, you know, definitely the back two are going. He's saying it's good to get rid of 2, and I wonder if part of his thought process was, if he hits this as a quarter and hits it as hard as we know he can throw it, he might be able to get all 3 of them.
If I could freeze it on there, it's pretty good. Right, like if I lock it right on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, again, he's helping
If I
the
get right to
Murphys
there,
in a way
even if I
by
get there,
playing
it's
the
not
hit.
good.
Yeah, we don't want to release it.
You know. So even if I'm there,
Okay.
I know the line.
Yeah, we've played this
Yeah.
a bunch. Okay, let's go.
So a complete change in strategy here.
And his thought process here, I think, is doesn't want to give them any extra room to try to score in. The forfeit's pretty closed off right now.
Because I don't want to lose the. I think it is.
Murphy's looking at the angles here themselves and seeing if they might have anything. All depends where this stone ends up. You heard John say that he doesn't want to release it. He's better off to be short here.
Heavy?
Nope.
Does have to curl up though.
Go, 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 go. Whoa, whoa.
Curling now. Even if he overlapped his own stone, wouldn't be bad. Well, nudges off it again and lines those 3 stones up. That middle yellow's not going anywhere.
Okay, straight back.
What's that?
Nose.
Trying desperately to figure out a
swim around.
way to keep that back forefoot as a yellow
Yeah, but
counter.
just do it with control hit. I want to move him around.
Okay, show me what rock I'm hitting.
Run the front one back, controlled weight.
Okay.
So I think what Hugh's looking for is straight back into the pocket of the 2 reds. He wants to spread them out a little bit so that it might have a couple of angles to come in off of, perhaps.
Still has to come up quite a bit.
Almost. Whoa, whoa, no!
It's close. Going to hit something.
Okay.
Well, nudges things. I'm not sure that made the angles better for them, though.
It's about the
Fair
third
high,
time
might be
that
able to get
Janet's
them
had
both.
something that's just missed by about
High.
half an inch
Wow.
at the top rock.
The question will be, does it go by the red at the back of the
Half a
forefoot?
rock.
Okay.
Came
In
down.
2/3 might be close.
Hard to tell from that angle. If it clips that red on the way by, it's not terrible for the Murphys, but if it goes by it, it actually takes out another yellow, and the forefoot will be blocked off.
Well, I think John hits where that broom is. That yellow's gone.
The yellow's gone for sure. The question is whether or not he takes 2 reds with it.
All right, John, you got nose.
And he did take 2 reds with it. And left that yellow stone at the back of the forefoot. There's a double available at the 2 reds at the top of the house.
Just trying to figure out who's all shot.
Up this and roll here.
Okay.
Whatever you like. You're gonna need solid weight actually.
Well,
No, you know what? You can just freeze down to it.
freeze to the back
Yeah, he's-
red.
What's
Are we
that?
like 3rd shot or 4th shot?
What's
or
that?
what? Okay, freeze to that back
Yeah,
red.
freeze the back one. You could actually
Inside,
get
outside, nose.
tuck around a little bit if
Okay,
you can.
got it.
Looked at hitting to do this first, but the freeze will do the same thing, and
Mine's good.
they still have that double at the top
Mine's
for their
good.
last shot.
Needs to curl. Mine's good.
Well, with the stagger,
Whoa, just
if
wait.
Janet can get
Just
under
wait.
this,
Line's
then
perfect.
they
Whoa,
can't do
yeah,
the run back.
curl. Straight, straight.
Comes down, actually nudges that stone a little bit. Sits on the corner of her own.
Who's second?
No. Just try and bump this.
Yep.
Even if you bump it,
Yep.
And even after looking at it, John said he doesn't know who's second. We know from a
please.
measurement
Please,
earlier in
he's
the end
just throwing
that
T-line weight.
our camera angle's off
Okay.
just a little bit on this button.
Spots good here.
We can
know,
finish it if we need to.
You know your line?
Yeah.
What are you taking here?
There?
Just a little while. Yeah, well, you know your line. Line you've been taking, right?
Yeah.
You know the line.
Just T-line?
Yeah. It's your drop half, T-line weight. Your drop half you've been taking.
So looking for the straight back tap here. Just a tap to the button area, get shot rock out of it. Does have options for this if she's a little
A
offline.
little heavy, if anything, I thought. Yep, gotta go line. Looks real close.
Really curling. Gonna get just past the nose. Taps it back. And does sit for shot rock.
Nice sweep.
Yep.
There's room to pick that out, perhaps.
I mean, you got to get rid of it. It's shot.
Yeah. That's a measure, so okay.
Sounds like it'll be a measure for second if they can make the pick here. The only only other option I see, and it's not one I'd want to have to throw. I'd play that long run on the yellow, try to clip the red on the right-hand side at the top of the forefoot and double the reds. It's still only for 2. If you were sure they had second shot and you really felt you had to score 2, I guess you could play it, but it's a real tough shot.
I think the law of physics would allow it.
Yeah, no, it's there, but it's real tough. Anytime you got to be that precise on a second stone when you're running it back, that's got to be 8 to 10 feet. That's a long run back with not a lot of margin for error. The pick's much easier.
Yep.
And even that's not a gimme.
Hard. Hurry.
And this is curling on him. He can't hit the front red, and it sounds like that's what he's done, and it's going to be a steal of 1.
Power play.
No, you can't.
So
Good luck with that, John. You don't have last rock.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Got it?
Joked a few times with teams. It's tough to remember the rules and set everything up. And John trying to set up for the power play, and finally Lisa had to remember you can't.
He was ready for it.
He was
Talked
all
about it
over
all
it.
game. He wanted
Yeah,
to use it in 8.
Actually, I think it was Janet that called down.
I think that's a telling sign. It's my bedtime. Your shot.
Well,
you know,
if
I
it had
don't know
worked,
if
it would have been a great call. 4 up coming home. If you could convince the other team to let you have a power play, you're in great
Did I set
great
it up
shape.
right, though? Are the colors right?
Murphy's would have probably
Yeah.
quite liked having the power play, needing 4 here to tie in the 8th end. But we have seen strange things, like you just don't shake hands in this game.
No, we've
Yeah,
seen
I think,
3 games, I think, that I can recall. Teams 4 down coming home and had shots to get into an extra end, and
do
at
you
least
think
one of those, it was actually a makeable shot.
Love the tick if you can get both into the rings, like if we can get one into the rings.
It's pretty high to get that, but it's fine.
I just don't like the idea of, like, if we freeze, we're just putting more rocks in play for them, right?
Yeah.
So if we throw through, they go around. We throw it through, they go around. That I can feel, but they're going to have 3 in there. So you almost have to freeze.
Do you want to try the tick? You
No,
can
play one
try
freeze.
and go thin and get
play
my
one
shooter
freeze.
out.
Play one freeze in there.
Okay, let's make it good. It's
Yeah,
just the top button.
top button. Yeah.
So again, as teams get more experience,
Yeah.
that is worked out off ice session, you know, in
Had to
this situation with hammer, without a hammer. So, but it was great watching John go through the process there.
He had to walk it through as to how many rocks would be in play before he could hit
Top
something.
button, John. Top button.
It's really curling.
Okay.
Good shot.
Thanks.
So Lisa's had a really strong game tonight.
Makes the freeze, taps that back a little bit, but this is the situation that we've looked at all weekend long. You can be that little bit heavy, get that little bit tap, as long as you stay on this line. Look at the line up there. Everything's dead in line behind the guard. So it still makes it difficult for the Murphys. They're eventually going to have to deal with that stone. They can't see it. They don't have room to score 4 points with it sitting where it is. It's got a little room to tap it here, but only a couple of inches. That's not going to create room for 3 other stones. And, you know, already real tough to bring that back yellow into play. Well, a really good first shot if you're going to try to do that. He's got some angle on that red one. Actually thought Janet could have maybe swept that back a little bit to close the gap on those 2. They've got a great angle on it.
So can't hit anything yet. This rock can't remove anything from play. So if John wants to throw this through, he could. That option is there, but you can't take anything out.
So looking for the freeze. He'd like to get to the inside corner. That Yellowstone wants to create a path to get it out the back. He'd worked it through on his head before they started. He knows he can hit on the next one, but right now doesn't have an easy path to get any of those yellows out. Can't really get at the one at the back.
Looking to cross this a little bit.
Cross the face just a little bit on that one. Enough that he could definitely spill it. Might lose both of his own, but that won't bother him.
So just keep stacking them in there.
Janet looking to come in on top of that red. I think they were just playing it as a straight freeze. I don't think they were trying to jiggle anything, but could.
Line's good. Curling.
If you could hit this just a hair broomside, tap the yellow back onto the corner of that red, you could leave angles to take both reds out on the same side. Didn't have the weight for that. Does come straight onto the red. I think John was already talking about peeling the guard, but not sure whether he'll try to peel it into the rings or not. I don't think so. Well, that broom looks like maybe he is. They've got good angles in the house. You could just straight peel the guard here.
But again, just eliminating rocks with that back yellow vulnerable. If he does hit everything in straight line, removes one yellow.
No, he's just straight
Just
peeling.
straight peel.
Well, everything's in a line at the back, so he's going to have a shot to move yellows on the next one.
So I think you have to come down
here.
here.
I think she's
Jiggle
got to tap
things a
this
little bit.
and try to leave angles where only one yellow escapes at a time is the key here.
On the nose?
Yeah.
No, curl, 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 curl,
This is
curl.
where it goes
Sure?
straight once you
Yes!
bring the weight up a little
Curl!
bit.
Yes! Curl!
He's looking for the nose. It'll be just a hair off the nose. Got a little bit of a spray there, but I think he can
see
get rid of at
about
least two yellows.
2 yellows, probably 3 if that red one goes into the
out.
one on the back forefoot.
The red's getting one of the ones at the back forefoot. The question is, does it get both of those stones at the back of the forefoot? If it thin kisses the one that's shot
They're on the
rock,
inside, okay?
it might come back and take the other one as well.
I was going to see a lot of yellows could go on this.
He might get all 4 of them. We know he won't be light.
Yep.
Catches the first one. Comes back, misses the one that's shot rock, but does take 2 stones out, and that's key because there is one open yellow stone now, and they only need to eliminate 1 more stone.
Okay, we got 2 left. 2.
Yep.
2 rocks left.
Wait, what are you saying?
Pardon?
What are you saying?
We have 2 rocks left.
Both yellows
Yeah, I
are open,
recognize
although
that.
the one on the
Okay.
left-hand
And they have,
side,
1 rock.
it's a little touchier to get it
So
out.
what am I playing?
Or
Do I need to move
She's
it?
gonna move her head on one
I
or the
know,
other.
I
Just
know.
tuck around. Top 4.
Okay. Okay, draw.
In fact,
Got it.
yeah, if you leave it right in front of their
Other
red
red
rock on the right-hand
Yeah.
side, that's good.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, take it out wide enough so that you're top 4 in front of that. Okay.
Line's good.
So just trying to put this stone in an area where they can at least put it into Lisa Weagle's mind when she's playing the hit. She's got open hits on both of them, but she does have a rock kind of in the way on the one side, and she'd risk jamming. Just slightly over curled the line they were looking for. I expect they'll play the hit on that stone at the back forefoot.
You're going to
So
throw firm?
basically,
Yeah,
even
tough to
though
jam
miss.
this one.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I can throw firm. Okay.
Right there with firm.
You could hit this pretty thin, and it's still going to spin out off the reds.
Oh, I picked up the hair parts on mine.
Take firm like inside, like almost middle of the rock, right?
Yeah, take middle of the rock.
Yeah, firm middle of the rock.
Even if you thin tick the one that was just thrown coming by, you probably either kill
Hit
it
firm.
or
Yep.
still catch a piece of that yellow.
Yep, hard, 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 hard.
Sweep was called on early, but the line holds nicely. Gets by the yellow at the top of the forefoot, makes the open hit, and that runs the Murphys out of stones. Lisa Weagle and John Epping will move on to the quarterfinals tomorrow morning. Not sure what sheet they'll be on, but we do have the draw here, so we know that they will be playing Team Saskatchewan, Marliese Kasner and Dustin Kaltoff, who won their pool with a record of 6-1. We'll turn our attention next door now to sheet 5. A 1-point game here coming home.
So Caitlin Schneider playing with partner Nancy Martin here out of Saskatoon. Nursing a 1-point without hammer lead. This has been a fabulous game, sort of been able to keep an eye on it. Game of a lot of steals.
Didn't have a chance to see how that 7th end worked its way out, but that was one of those interesting scenarios we talked about. They were tied up playing 7, and Martin and Schneider took a single point with last rock. So the power play here getting used in end number 8 is Fry and Miskew try to pick up a deuce here, and they do have it set up. If they can hold it for a couple more stones. There you get a better look at the front of the house. That yellow on the edge of the 8-foot. Third shot, it is undercover. Ryan Fry was set to play the hit and roll on the red. He sees something from the hacks. I think he's worried about maybe leaving a double and setting undercover. It's the only thing I could see that would have him worried. They were looking at hitting the rolling to the open. It would leave a double. I think he's worried about the double and spin up under the guard for shot rock. The double and sit open doesn't hurt him. So they've decided, I think, to nose hit or flop under. The nose hit again, it would leave a double, but it would be a slash double, and that doesn't hurt him. It would have to roll away.
So Caitlin and Nancy, they were in the Saskatchewan Provincial Mixed Playdown Final, losing to Sherry Anderson and Dustin Kaltoff. And a new team, they were formed just before the Provincial Playdowns and really clicked quite well.
Ryan Fry looking to get close to the nose, maybe even the flop under, which is what he gets. Great shot. There you can see the view from the hacks. Martin and Schneider don't have a lot to work with right now. 2 stones left for them.
So they have to get this one. They'd be happy even if it's back 4 foot, because they've got to get past any possible play on a yellow. I don't know how much room is past those 2 red guards, but they don't want to leave them that option.
Yeah, the yellow are angled to anything at the edge of the 4 foot for sure. It could come right to the back 4 foot here. In fact, on this stone, because they do have another one left, they could, even if they come full back 8, just back 8, sit second shot, give themselves something to come down to with the last one would be, certainly better than what they're looking at right now.
So Caitlin Schneider plays for Sean Meacham, and they were in our Tankard final this year, losing to Steve Laycock and Kindersley.
There's a lot of room coming by everything, but really curling as it enters the house. You can see that sweep trying to get it to bend that extra little bit. Looks like he's covered a good half of that stone behind the stone at the top of the 8 foot.
Yeah, nice shot by Caitlin.
It's probably the best he could do with it. Well, you can see from that angle he's got a good 3/4 of it under cover. Ryan Fry going to look to They signaled a tap on the top on it. That's not easy to see either, but maybe what they're doing is quiet wait here. He either gets by and gets the red, or he nudges the yellow fully into the forefoot. Is that the thought there, perhaps? Definitely throwing the weight where he's looking to get that shot stone and just pick it out of the rings. By the guard, by the one at the 12, by his own at the top of the forefoot.
What a
and
shot.
Makes the hit, rolls his shooter out of play.
Well, Nancy's going to have to make that same shot and leave that for Emma Miskew for the win.
Well, Catlin had to sweep hard to get the extra curl at the end. He came by all of those rocks with lots of room, so there is room there. If Nancy comes by it a little bit tighter, she could bury this even further.
So the season on the line here with this shot.
Could get into an extra end if you could force them to one, but really hard to see a force even alive in play right now.
No, this is all or nothing basically. I know there are a lot of Martin Schneider fans up here because there have been some big shots made. Nancy made a peach in the third end to get their 2 points, and
it's got a lot of room
big
coming by,
round
and this
of
looks like
applause.
it might be a lot of
That's
weight
heavy.
as well. Catlin has backed away from it. And this is going to sail through the back, so Emma Miskew will not have to throw her final stone. They're going to pick up 3 here in the 8th end, and that will make them a 7-5 victor. They're going to move on to the quarterfinals as well, and they will be playing. Just take a quick look at it here. They play the McEwens, who won their pool with a record of 7-0. All of the games now final, and we'll update all of the scores on sheet 6. It was the defending champions, Kayleen Park and Charlie Thomas, with an 8-4 victory over Joanne Courtney and Reed Carruthers. So
we saw Kaylin and Charlie struggle in their last round robin game today, but they certainly found their championship game in this one.
Park and Thomas will move on to play against Laura Crocker and Jeff Walker. They won their pool with, again, a perfect record of 7-0. And the last score, Team Nova Scotia, Jennifer Baxter, Mark Dacey, unable to topple Rachel Holman and Mark Nichols. Holman and Nichols will move on to the quarterfinals tomorrow morning with an 8-3 victory. And they will be playing against Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. Well, you've looked for teammates playing. We've seen a few on the women's side. We're going to see Mark Nichols and Brett Gallant face off head-to-head tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Not sure which game will be our feature, but looks like we got 4 strong matchups set for tomorrow morning. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight and all weekend. Still 3 exciting rounds to play tomorrow. The quarters at 10 a.m. There will be semifinals at 1 o'clock and the championship final at 4 p.m. Please join us for all that action tomorrow. We want to thank you for being here tonight. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, Susan Lang, our producer, Carrie Tarasoff, and camera operator, Terry Hersikorn. Good night, everyone.